All right, so welcome everybody to the Functional Anatomy and Sporting Movement Analysis unit. I am Dario Cazzola, and I'm the unit convener for this unit. And I thought that was a very good idea to start off with a welcome message, mainly because usually you would say that you want to put a face to a name, or in this case, I think you want to put a voice to a name or an accent to a name. And here I am. But mainly because I think from a distance learning perspective, it's good to have this kind of to minimize the distance between us. And videos I think are a good way to do it. So the aim of this message, which is supposed to be quite short, so apology if it's not going to be short, is to show you the incredible Moodle page that we got for this unit. Which includes the information that you need and the links to the activities and topics that we're going to go through during the unit. As you can see here, there are already some topics that are available to you and other topics that are not hidden. But the reason why some of them are not available because I believe there are some steps that you need to do, and there is a sequence of topics that you need to go through, and hopefully you will agree with me in that regard. Right, so the first page you want to see is related to the general unit information. And so this week actually, what you're going to do we're gonna explore this Moodle page, and mainly this kind of a page where you'll find the link to this incredible welcome message in case you want to listen it many times. I bet it's going to be like that. And there is another link to a welcome message, unit timetable, and a unit outline. So welcome message here, what you can see is essentially a bit more details with respect to what I'm gonna give you during this video, but the main kind of summary of this page is that the unit is gonna be split up in 3 different parts. In the first part of the unit, we're gonna essentially refresh some functional anatomy. I bet that you guys are very good already, so maybe it's not so important, and we're going to focus on that only during the first week, but I think it's good to refresh it. And but I think most importantly, we're going to start going through and kind of maybe revising for some of you some biomechanical principles of human movement. This kind of principles are essentially mechanical principles, so I put some videos that are showing you and explaining to you what a force is or what a torque is, and some of them can be quite dry from a physics perspective. They are like physics related videos, but I think they are quite good to to get a good grasp of the meaning of those variables and understanding the principles. The second part will be a bit more applied, so we're going to spend some time in understanding what are the main experimental methods in biomechanics that we use to measure and analyze movement or muscle activity. And I think that's very important for you because you want to know really what kind of techniques and experimental methods you can use in your either clinical practice or if you're doing some research. I think that's important to understand what's good, what is not. And finally, we're going to apply some of these experimental methods, and we're going to have a discussion where we can talk about what can be used in a specific situation and why some methods are better than the others. And we try to do it putting that in a context, so in applied context, mainly related to sport. Finally, the third part will be related to injury prevention. So I really think that biomechanics is key from an injury prevention perspective. You can link what are the risk factors that you know already very well to what are the methods that you can use to understand what are the injury mechanisms, and then therefore being able to potentially also predict some injuries given some experimental data. Then the second the second file I've uploaded on Moodle is the unit timetable, which is a very handy file that you want to have. It's a PDF. You can download it. You can keep it where it, is more handy for you, and essentially it's going to give you an idea of what you need to do from an individual perspective, a group perspective, when we know when the key kind of events are, what the unit convener needs to do. So I need to have it handy as well. And yeah, so I think it's a good kind of way to keep track on what's going on. And then there is the unit outline, which is this kind of quite boring document that essentially includes all the info related to the unit. So if you've got lots of time and you want to read it all, you're welcome to do it. It's there for you, but you can find the same information on the Moodle page as well. Right, so another kind of important kind of tool that you need to use, or you will be using, is the announcement forum. So if I open it up and I go to I go to your group, it should be in there. At the moment you cannot see it, sorry guys, but because I need to return to my role. Yeah, so you will find my kind of messages, and in this case there are no messages. The message will be sent later on, so that's the reason why nothing was showing up. But that's essentially where you can find all my emails. You can also reply to my emails so that everybody can see it as well if you want, or you can just email me personally. I'm gonna switch role to students back. Okay. All right. So if we go back to this page, there is also a link to some e-boards that I think are quite nice, and I tend to use it with you guys. Essentially, are another way to leave your messages in an anonymous way and ask questions that you might don't want to ask in a forum. I should have my email linked to this page, so every time you post something, which is quite easy to do, so from here you grab one of those stickers and then you say ciao Dario, and everything will be fine, and I can reply to you in yellow. So maybe if you use different sticker, so you're gonna use yellow, and I'm gonna reply to you this way. Yeah, so if you use like other colors, I can reply in yellow so that you can see what are my replies. I think it's a nice tool. I can also add some videos and explanations and files. So for example, I added some videos to download for you if you wish. But yeah, so that's about the Lino or Lino e-boards here. Right, so if we go back to the main page, then there is another kind of section that you want to be able to see, which is the assessment one here. The assessment one at the moment is quite it's not very much populated because essentially you need to wait a bit to know about the assignments. I need to, as you might have seen before, in the timetable, I will release the assignment week 4, just because otherwise you guys just do the assignments and do not do the topics or the activities that I created for you. Yeah, so, but also you've got links to online resources here. There will be links, similar links on other parts, but I'm here now, so I'm going to show you the online resources as well. Essentially here I put divided in functional anatomy, biomechanics, and sport medicine, the either online tools for revision or some books that you can see online, and which is quite handy for you, I guess. Some other books that you need to get from the library, which might be a problem, but there are some online books that you can really use. And I mean, you don't need to read the whole book for this unit. It's mainly related to kinetics. So, for example, I made available a very good chapter for this book here. For sports medicine, there is an online book here, and another one which is very nice in terms of injury prevention. If you can get hold of this, that would be fantastic. Yeah, so this is about the online resources that you can access from here. Also, there is you will see Anatomy Online is an e-tool that you can use. Here there is some information and hopefully quite good kind of guidelines, and if you get lost and you don't know how to use it, and there are some quizzes that you can do in Anatomy Online as well. All right, so let's go back. So the assessment, you will hit this one probably in a few weeks. Then there's another one here, which would be a link to discussions events and a line on your board, information how to do discussion events. Again, not super important, but another way to get to the to discussion events is here as well. Right. So I don't want to then take too much time, but I'd like to talk about the activities and what we can do during the first week. So, as I kind of said before, the first week is really about starting and getting familiar with this web page, but also starting to do a bit of refreshing a bit of functional anatomy. There are some description of what you need to do, but mainly the idea is that you should do a quiz here. There is the link to do a quiz. There are other kind of functional anatomy online quizzes, but also there are some functional anatomy activities that I created for you. And there are some activities that you can do on anatomy online. But also the one I created for you really are these guys. You will hit this one as well, and you will find this fantastic activity. And the idea is that I will give you some videos that you can see from here, or from the next slides as well. Yeah, it's the same one here. And the idea is that you need to, for example, understand from a functional anatomy perspective. If you're thinking about a specific joint, in what kind of a plane of motion this kind of joint is mainly working, and what's the state. So it's flexed, is rotated, or extended. You need to swap things around this way, and then you will get the answer as well at the end. That's another one, very similar one, I will guess, and that's more related to a dynamic exercise, and very similar kind of activity, but it's more related to very similar activities related to the motion that you see and the plane of motion. Then we move to the upper limbs. You can see in video from another kind of view, but again, that's more related to the muscles. What do the muscles do? So it's from a contraction perspective. So it's a concentric, eccentric, isometric, whatever it is, or what kind of movement is related to the specific muscle, essentially. There will be another one similar to this, but that's the activity that I created for you. Then you can do the quiz, as I said before. There are also some lectures recordings mainly from Polly, I hope, for you. She's great. Yeah, so it is, these kind of lectures are mainly kind of second year sports science kind of for first year sports science students. So the level of kind of information might be not as deep as you expect. So I mean, potentially these two are better, but if you want to watch the lectures, you can do that as well. It's not compulsory, I think. Using functional anatomy online and going through the exercises will be more than enough for this for you, I guess. All right. Yeah, so do the quizzes, please. Here you can hit here and then get into that. I also made available other type of topics because some of you might want to explore other kind of topics. I would suggest you to kind of hold on a bit and wait for next weeks to engage with those ones, because there will be some activities. But there are already some tutorials here that if you want to start having a look to some tutorials on what the center of mass is, what's torque, linear momentum, impulse, you can do that here. There are videos, so you can start like revising that if you wish. There's an interactive tutorial on the projectile motion, very nerdy one, but you can try it out. Links to textbooks as well, and there are some journal articles that I will ask you to read for the activity. So maybe you can hold on doing that. And then same thing for topic number 3 is experimental method biomechanics. I would suggest you to do it in week number 3 rather than doing it now, but from experience I know that people will like to see what is going on and what are the next topics. So I don't mind for you to have a look to it, but my main suggestion will be then that you're going to focus on topic 1. Right, so I have been talking too much as usual. I just want to finish up saying that I'm looking forward to really kind of working with you guys. Feel free to ask, question on the Aligno e-board. Drop me an email if you're struggling. I know that you are very, very busy, so it's not easy to do this, and I really want to help you out as much as I can. So nice to meet you again, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did. See you later.